Welcome back to the podcast. A new podcast episode drops every Monday, so please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single one. On my social media this week, I shared results of Kayla, who has lost almost 30 pounds and got rid of her belly fluff in about 6 months. So go to my Instagram at Kelly Counts Macros to take a look. Her story is super motivating all of my listeners and followers. It will motivate you to take action and join the Clubhouse, which only opens once a year in June. We are going to have a fun free challenge in my Kelly Counts Macros Facebook community. So be sure you are a member in there so that you don't miss this free week of coaching to kick it off. The link for my Kelly Counts Macros Facebook community will be in the show notes. Today, we will be discussing how the scale, dun dun dun, is perhaps messing with your brain and your emotions. I will explain why the scale goes up, some typical weight patterns and fluctuations that I see, and give you some tips that you can apply so that perhaps you can stop letting that scale dictate your mood, causing you to give up or say, screw it, this isn't working. Inside the Kelly Counts Macros Clubhouse, the clubmates send me their weight graphs so that we can look at the overall trend, whether they are cutting, reversing, or maintaining. It is just one, notice I said one data point that we track. This week inside of the Kelly Counts Macros Clubhouse membership, we made skirt steak fajitas. They were on the meal plan for this week. We make extra so that we can get a few extra meals out of it. If you like Mexican food, you must get in the Clubhouse just for the recipes. This recipe is perfect for Cinco de Mayo. I also posted the recipe and the reel on my Instagram, so go there, check it out, comment fajita, and I will send you the recipe. This is so tender, it's juicy, it's easy, and it's a skirt steak fajita that is better than your favorite restaurants. So the recipes are clickable inside of the Kelly Counts Macros monthly membership Clubhouse and shoot right into the app. You make the recipe, decide on your portion size, feed your people, lose weight, done. Always family-friendly meals and desserts inside of the monthly membership. So today we will be talking about the scale. But first, I want to read a 5-star review of the podcast. At Odge says KKM is top notch. I've had the pleasure of receiving coaching and guidance from Kelly. She knows her stuff and she doesn't forget that life happens, and making myself a priority can sometimes be hard. I can't wait to listen to each and every podcast Monday morning from Kelly and learn all that I can from her. Thank you, at Odge. I love that you're trusting me and you're listening to the podcast so that you can learn and get all of the free info that you need to lose weight to reveal those tone muscles. I love reading all of the reviews. I read each and every one, and this helps me help the world. So if you have not yet left a review, please do so. Be sure to hit the follow button as well so that you don't miss any episodes that drop each Monday. I'm going to be honest, the biggest struggle I see is my clients coming to me focusing too much on the scale, the number that plastic box gives us. At Thursday check-in, I was talking to a Clubhouse member about her weight graph. She was mad because the scale was stuck. It was not moving. She had done all the things that week, counted her macros, stayed in a deficit. She walked, she drank water. She chose not to have that third glass of wine. So then I asked her a few things. When did you weigh today? Well, my hormones had me up early, so I weighed earlier than normal. Okay. When did you poop? Well, I'm constipated and I've not gone in 2 days. Okay. When was your last menses? Well, I'm on it right now. Okay, all of these things affect your weight on the scale, but they do not affect your actual body fat or your actual weight. First off, when working with me, I do have you weigh daily. We get this nice little graph that shows the downward trend, and then we compare your weight month to month. You're not allowed to, or you're not supposed to, complain about your weight to me for 4 weeks. If you're doing what you're supposed to, staying consistent, not perfect, but consistent, the trend will be down. Compare your weight month to month from January 1st to February 1st. February 1st to March 1st. Also use the averages. I know you want it to go down every day. If you're watching on YouTube, you want it to look like this, right? You want it to go down every single day. Picture a diagonal straight line going from high to low. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you know what I mean. And when it doesn't do this, you get mad. But your friend, on the other hand, would be more logical. And when your friend complains about the scale, what would you say to her? So stop being judgmental and talk to yourself like you would your friend. Okay, the 3 most common patterns that I see. The first one looks like a leaned over ladder. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see this lovely drawing that I made. Pretty fancy, huh? Okay, so you enter a deficit and you see that quick weight loss in the first 3 to 7 days. You see that quick weight loss and then a stall and then an increase in weight and then you give up, right? Because you gained, 3 pounds in 2, 3, 4 days. You flip out and you quit. People that succeed continue. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks to see the scale go down again. Then it halts again. Stay with it. Okay. When it increases, this is where people give up. Detach the emotions from the scale. You can see where I drew the red circle. This is where people give up, right? Detach the emotions from the scale. Don't get super excited and don't get super mad. Lose weight, gain, lose weight, gain. This is a pattern. And maybe your graph looks like this. And it's not a stall. Where you see the circles there, it's not a stall. Okay. The next pattern looks like, I guess, a downfall. There's no quick weight loss. Nothing happens at first. You call it maybe a plateau. And then you say to me, well, what exercise should I do? How many steps should I be getting in? How much water should I be drinking? No, stay in your deficit consistently. The weight fluctuates up and down, and then there's a whoosh down. Once again, go to my YouTube channel to see this visually. The little part where it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, people will say, I'm in a plateau. I'm stagnant. The scale's not moving. No, you just need to keep going and be consistent, not perfect. The third one that I often see looks like this. Okay, so maybe quick weight loss, then a spike, then stagnant and repeat. Weight loss, spike, stagnant, repeat. And you can see where I circled in red, this is where people get mad, right? Because they think that my weight spiked up or I'm stagnant or I'm in a plateau. So I am in a cut right now and I'm just finishing up. I would say that my graph tends to look like this minus the quick weight loss, just because I don't have a lot to lose to begin with. But I do have the whooshes down. I have the spike and I have the stagnant. Everybody loves the whoosh down, but you won't see the whoosh down if you quit. Okay. You see the whoosh down, it goes back up, and then maybe it, air quote, plateaus. okay? Drop up across, drop up across. When people spike or plateau, they quit. You will not lose weight every day or every week. No one, I shouldn't say no one, not everyone has 1 pound to lose a week. 52 weeks in a year. A lot of us don't have that much to lose. If you lose weight too quickly, 95% you'll gain it back. You're trying to be too extreme. What is important to me, and maybe what's different about me, is I want you to keep it off while still enjoying wine, while still enjoying chocolate, while still enjoying peanut butter and food and drinks that you like. Stay consistent, don't give up, don't quit on those spikes or plateaus. Okay, so let's understand our body weight comp beyond the scale. Body weight is influenced by a variety of factors, and understanding its fluctuations requires an understanding of the components that contribute to it. Many individuals equate weight loss or gain solely with fat loss or gain, but in reality, the scale reflects a makeup of different elements within the body. So what is our body made up of? The body is composed of water, muscle, bone, fat, plenty of other things. Okay, so each of these elements contribute differently to our overall body weight. On average, a healthy adult body is made up of 60 to 70% water, 15 to 20% fat, 15 to 20% muscle and organs, and about 5% bone mass. So let's talk about why our weight fluctuates daily. The scale does not provide a real-time analysis of fat loss or fat gain. In daily weight fluctuations are changes in water, food intake, waste elimination. For example, factors like sodium intake, hormonal fluctuations, and glycogen can lead to variations in water retention, which may result in weight fluctuations that are not related to fat changes. You can't lose or gain 2 pounds of fat overnight. You must understand fat loss versus weight loss. Fat loss is a gradual process that occurs over time through a sustained, consistent calorie deficit. So contrary to some people believe, one does not lose or gain substantial amount of fats overnight or over a week. Instead, daily scale changes often reflect shifts in water weight, glycogen levels, and food in our digestive system. You don't lose weight from exercise, you lose weight from a consistent calorie deficit over time. So water retention and its impact. Water retention influenced by sodium intake, hormonal changes, and even stress can significantly impact daily scale readings. High sodium meals can lead to temporary water retention. It acts like a sponge and causes the scale to show a higher weight despite being in a calorie deficit. Same thing, hormonal fluctuations, especially in women during their menstrual cycle, can contribute to temporary increases in water weight. That is why you notice the scale goes up before or during your menses. If you chug a gallon of water before stepping on the scale, it will show up. If you weigh yourself before, then go for a long run in the sun and sweat like a maniac like I do, if you step on the scale when you get home, it will be down. Perhaps you went out the night before and dehydrated yourself because you drank too many glasses of wine. That dehydration may show up on the scale. These are not true weights. This is why I highly suggest weighing daily. Remove the emotion and educate yourself. There's no reason to be emotional, especially when you should be relying on other forms of measuring progress that I will be discussing. Hold tight for those. Salt. So abnormally, if you're eating an abnormally high amount of salt for you, you will hold on to water. You will weigh more, but you're not gaining fat. You will weigh more. If you eat less salt than normal, You may weigh less in the morning. Not many people talk about that. If you eat less salt than normal, you may weigh less in the morning. Let's talk about glycogen, the storage and depletion. So glycogen, the body's stored form of carbohydrates, binds with water. Carbohydrate. Hear that word hydrate in there? When glycogen stores are replenished, such as after a high carb meal, there's an associated increase in water weight. And during periods of low carb intake or increased physical activity, glycogen stores may be depleted, leading to a temporary reduction in water weight. This is why the scale may be up after consuming lots of carbs. So for every gram of carbs you consume, your body keeps it to use as energy, and your body hoards 3 to 4 grams of water to help store the energy, to help store the glycogen. You don't gain body fat or true weight from carbs. The reduction on the scale that you see when you attempt a low carb diet or keto diet is because you are withholding carbs. Typically, you can only white knuckle it for so long and then the weight comes back. I see these diets on my intake forms as failures time and time again. Carbs act like a sponge, suck up the water. If you don't eat them, the sponge releases the water. This is why on a keto diet, you lose weight so fast in the beginning. Removing the carbs, you will lose water weight, not fat. Then that keto diet may halt if you're not in a calorie deficit, so you can't lose anymore because there's no more water to lose. Let's talk about eating late. There's nothing wrong with eating late, but the cheeseburger you had at 11 p.m. will still be in your intestines when you weigh at 6 a.m. You're more full. Your belly, your intestine is full, so you weigh more. You wake up early and weigh in, you will be weighing more. It's not fat. You eat late, you weigh in early, yes, the scale will be up because there's more food in your digestive system. So the role of digestive processes. The digestive process involves the breakdown of food and the absorption of nutrients. Food in the digestive system contributes to the overall weight shown on the scale. A large meal may lead to a temporary increase in scale weight, unrelated to changes in body fat. Like I said, if you ate a meal at 11 p.m., 6 a.m., when you weigh yourself, it's going to show up on the scale. It's still in your intestines. Same with bowel movements. If you're bound up because you're not getting enough greens and water and movement, poop weighs something. Go back to my Instagram and watch my mini cut from last April. I weighed myself before and after pooping in the morning, 4 pounds. My poop weighed 4 pounds. Okay, let's talk about lifting, strength training. Breaking down the muscle fiber when you lift weights. You're breaking it down, you're damaging the fibers, and those uptake the nutrients in the glycogen. So perhaps after a heavy leg day, you may weigh more. The fibers soak up like a sponge. Maybe on a rest day, you pee more and you weigh less because it's a rest day. Stress. Stress is normal. Cortisol does not make you gain fat. Stress eating? Yes. Eating too many calories? Yes. So managing it is key. Cortisol will hold on to water and you may weigh more, but the less stress, the water lets go. But stress does not make you gain fat. The stress eating, the binge eating that comes along with stress causes you to gain weight. If weight spikes, it does not mean fat gain. Salt, carbs, your weigh-in time, hormones, stress. If you have to poop, your weight training schedule, leg day, don't jump and be emotional about the weight on the scale. Ovulation. Your weight may spike on ovulation, typically mid-cycle, and during or just before your menses. So wrapping up, I'm going to share with you how you should actually be measuring your progress. The scale is one valuable tool, for tracking general trends in weight, but it does not provide an accurate representation of day-to-day fat loss, nor should it dictate your mood, how you speak to yourself, or represent your success or progress. Now that you understand the various factors that influence the daily scale readings, such as water retention, glycogen storage, digestive processes, it enables you to interpret your weight changes more accurately. So emphasizing long-term trends and incorporating these other data points. Number 2, like body measurements. Please don't skip this part. Measure your bust, measure your waist, your hips, your legs, your arms. And in fact, inside of the shred, we have some fun and we track how many chins. We like to have fun and not take ourselves too seriously in the shred in the clubhouse. Okay, muscle does not weigh more than fat. Okay, we are intelligent people. 1 pound is 1 pound. Muscle measures less than fat. It looks better on the body. Muscle tissue will be more compact and take up less space, providing a lean and defined appearance. Fat has a larger volume of less dense tissue, contributing to a softer and less defined physique. A lot of the before and after pictures on my social media, go check them out on Instagram, Kelly Counts Macros, Katie and Melissa, to name a few. I showcase their body transformations. A before and after photo displaying weighing about the same, but look totally different. The visual difference is striking. Which brings me to number 3. Super important progress pictures. Please do them. Do not skip this part. Progress pictures offer a view of a body transformation beyond the scale. While the scale can indicate weight changes, it does not capture the shift in body comp, such as changes maybe in your muscle mass or your fat distribution. I regret not taking my before pictures. I did not have a coach 10 or 11 years ago. I definitely would have gotten further faster with a coach, but now progress pictures are part of my routine. Like I said, I'm in a cut, so they're super important if you're trying to body recomp. They tell the true tale. I suggest taking pictures every 6 to 8 weeks. Put it in your calendar. Take these pictures, especially when the scale's making you mad. Look at these. Number 4, how your clothes fit. This provides a better assessment of progress on the journey. Use a belt to measure progress. Notice the comfort of your work pants. Get those favorite summer shorts out that you want to fit into, like Val did inside of my clubhouse. She wore them on the 4th of July and they were too big. Try them on every week or every month. Hang them or hang that bikini in plain sight to keep you moving forward towards your goals. We do this inside of the shred and it catapults my shredders into victory. It catapults my club mates, my clubhouse members to victory. The support in both of those groups are unparalleled and you triple your results. Number 5, a better relationship with food. Let's address sustainability. This is all mental. I promise you, if you don't rewire the brain, you will gain the weight back. This is what's different about me and my coaching. I hear you. I hear you say you need something sustainable. I hear you say you don't want to gain the weight back. This is exactly what I heard from Kayla, a shred and clubhouse member who has lost and sustained her weight. She fits into her wedding dress again. Transitioning from impulsive or emotional stress eating to being mindful, knowing how to conquer these demons, realizing there are no good foods or bad foods. Having a better relationship with food dictates huge success. More focus on a healthy life and mental status than that number on the scale. These last methods that I showed you are releasing you from that dieting mentality, releasing you from that stupid plastic box, releasing you from the number on the scale. Thank you all for tuning in. I would love for everyone to share this episode and tag me on my social media so that I can say thanks. Also, leaving a 5-star review on the podcast helps me help more people. Who knows? Maybe you will even hear your review on here. It's time to get out of your own way and out of your own head. I can simplify all because I know you're busy. I know you don't have time. There's so much info out there. It's overwhelming. I know you're entering your info into all these different online calculators and getting different answers. You're confused. The Clubhouse will be open in June 2024. It only happens once a year to the general public. We're going to kick off with a free challenge that you don't want to miss to get started on that summer bod. The waitlist link will be in the show notes for the Kelly Counts Macros Clubhouse. You deserve better. You deserve to feel better in your own skin. I will pull you out from feeling lost and show you exactly how to count macros with confidence so that you fit into those jeans again. Link in the show notes to stay in the know in the Kelly Counts Macros Facebook community so that you expedite your goals. I will put the link in the show notes. That wraps up this episode of Kelly Counts Macros. Go out, keep it simple, and remember, you're always doing better than you think you are.